folks. Welcome to an all-new episode of So Bad It's Good. This is your pal Ryan, and this is your Friday episode. Man, these weeks just fly. I just feel like it was 7 days ago where I said, oh my God, we made it to the end of another work week. But yet here we are. Once again, we've made it to the end of another work week. And we're going to celebrate by talking about the worst show on Bravo right now that a lot of you guys like. It's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 15, baby. We're going to talk all about it. They are still in Florence, Italy, where Dorit, a child of the world, feels free to just say pepperoni 30 times in a row. Mozzarella, pepperoni, viviana, do. Anyways, there's a lot to talk about in this episode. We'll have a lot of fun, as we always do. How are you guys? Are you okay? Man, it's been a week. We had a lot of good shows this week, too. If you ever need to catch up on anything, we had the Summer House. I mean, I lost my shit on that Summer House recap. Man, I love that show. We had a lot of guests. We had Kristen Kish. We had 2 cast members from Southern Hospitality. We had Whitner from Southern Charm. We had the Pop Culture Roundup. I mean, listen, I could keep going. I could keep going. Listen, I do want to say that we had a crazy day. We had a crazy day. I was taking notes for Beverly Hills, as I am wont to do, and I was doing it early. I was like, wow. I woke up, and I started taking notes. I started watching the episode because I got a screener of it. And I was all proud of myself because I usually don't take notes for Beverly Hills. I try to put it off as late into the evening as possible on Thursday night. But I said, you know what? Let's get ahead of the game because I wanted to watch the all-new episode of Survivor that I didn't get to watch on Wednesday night. And we had the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives premiere today as well. And I've watched a bunch of episodes of that already, which, by the way, way too much dad talk right out of the gate. Who cares about dad talk? I've finally gotten used to mom talk. I don't give a rip about these guys and their husbands and boyfriends, and I don't give a shit. I'm there to watch those young ladies that all have full families try to make millions of dollars. I mean, already making millions of dollars. That's what I'm there to watch, not these dudes doing little funny dance moves and going, we're funnier than mom talk. Then go get your own show, doofuses. But that's the thing, isn't it, folks? Is that they put that in there because they want to upset us. They realize that's the thing. It's you don't just make a good reality show anymore. You got to make people angry. You got to give them something to be like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And that is a key component. I wish it wasn't true, but that's the rules of the game, it feels like. So anyways, that's out there. Oh, also we got a new season of Mama June from Not to Hot on WeTV. Love During Lockup ended last week, so now we have a new season of Mama June. If you're looking for something to watch on Friday night, man, I love that Love During Lockup. Okay, I'm already getting lost here. So anyways, I'm taking notes, and Rebecca, obviously, we're at the tail end of the pregnancy here, and we have to take her blood pressure every day because, she's had a little bit of a high blood pressure, so we had to get this blood pressure machine, take her blood pressure every day, and she woke up with a headache today. And so you got to watch those things. And her blood pressure was very high. So we called the doctor and, just like, hey, they just told us to keep them updated every day. Called the doctor. And I'm taking notes, and then Rebecca gets the call from the doctor, and, she's like, oh, thank you, doctor. Gets off the phone, and she goes, we have to go to the hospital. We got to go to the hospital. I'm like, what? So we had to go to Cedars-Sinai because the doctor said, you got to go straight to the hospital. It's not good if you have a headache and this high blood pressure because that could be preeclampsia, which I was not familiar with until now, but it's like that could be dangerous. So we're driving over. And I will say the good, what if I was like, and so basically she was born tonight and I'm here doing the podcast. No, but it was a great dry run. So we went to Cedars-Sinai. We had already done the hospital tour, but it was great because I knew where to park. So it was legitimately doing like a dress rehearsal, but we got there, we checked in. Everybody was so nice. It was great. And then they gave us a room. And it's one of the rooms that you would actually give birth in. And we're like, oh shit. And I'm texting with my sister, and my sister's like, oh, they might just deliver today. She might come today. They might just say, you can't continue on. and just induce labor. And we were like, oh shit. But luckily, we had the go bags ready to go already. But I will say we had forgotten a couple of things, which is great that we had this dry run. But it was crazy. They had to hook her up to like the blood pressure monitors and, doing all the things to make sure the baby was okay. They had to take blood work, all of this stuff. And it was really wild because you're just like, okay. And I was extremely calm. I was very proud of myself for that. I want to pat myself on the back. I'm doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. But, Rebecca was very scared. And, this is such a scary thing. And especially if you're like, okay, we're planning on this a couple weeks from now. But we were there for like 4 hours, you guys. They were a little backed up. And anyways, so we were just there. And we finally got the all clear to go home. We just have to we just got to really be on top of the blood pressure and stuff. But man, it was just another reminder of, oh, this isn't some weird dream. This isn't this is happening. And it's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks, sooner rather than later. But anyways, basically I had to come back and finish my notes on Beverly Hills. There's nothing to have that kind of excitement thrown into your day and then to be like, I got to watch Kyle with a leaf stuck to her butt. Did you guys see that? The last conversation she was having with Sutton Amanda, she was like, I can't have this conversation anymore. I gotta go. And she gets up in her workout gear and there's just a gigantic leaf stuck to the crack of her ass. And she's like, and she's like, I bet I look cool leaving the scene. And she just has a leaf just hanging off of her butt. So anyway, now I'm here talking with you guys. This is where I would actually, I wouldn't rather be, this is where I want to be. Sorry, I'm a little flustered, you guys. It's been a long day. Yeah. Sorry. So there is not a day goes by, you guys, where I don't and usually you have to hear it, that I just crack up about this is what I do. This is my life. This is what I do. And I take it very seriously, even though I don't take myself seriously when we talk, you and me. I'm very goofy, but I'm like sitting here pounding out notes and like, oh, I've got to do this and I've got to watch this. And it's so important. This is rocket science. This is brain surgery. And it's legitimately just me talking about Kyle having a leaf stuck to her very toned ass, which is great. Also, man, Ladies of London, we watched the new episode 3, which is on right after Beverly Hills. I was just so impressed. It's like in 3 episodes, I know more about these ladies and their families than I do about anyone on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills right now. And that is including Kyle. And I think it's just like that. It's just another thing of like the casting is so good on Ladies of London. And I'm so sorry to shit on Beverly Hills so much, but it's just, they're so disinterested in each other that it rings so false when they get like a storyline and they all just hop on it. Like it's like a big piece of meat and everybody's like, oh, I got to get a piece of that meat. Because they're like, it's like the Amanda cult storyline, like, oh, drink every time Amanda or any of the cast says cult. It's such a non-starter that I'm just like, they're trying with that. They're trying to make this thing with Dorit and Kyle still happen. And, there are moments that are funny. There are moments where I laugh at Erica or laugh at something Jennifer Tilly says, or Kathy Hilton had a couple of good lines. They have a girl named Natalie there that I don't even fucking know. She's popped up a couple times this season. I don't even know. She's just there. She'll throw in a line and I'll be like, who the fuck is that? And they'll be like, oh, it's Natalie. It's just like, you could throw new people into this cast right now and I would just be like, oh, okay, I just must have missed them all season. Like, there's a girl named Natalie on this trip. How does that work? I don't really know anything about Natalie, and nobody seems to be asking Natalie questions. Natalie's just there. Did they need like a piece of like background furniture? Is she an extra at one of these scenes? And they're in a castle with like 30 billion rooms, yet Sutton has to room with Amanda Francis. Tell me how that works. Tell me how everybody gets a suite at this Villa Bibiani, but no, Sutton has to room with Amanda. Because it's a bit. It's something that they're like, oh, it'll be good for the show. It'll be good for the show. Because it's bullshit. They totally have space for separate rooms. But that's the thing. It's just like you could tell they're trying to make some things happen. And it's not going to happen this season. Which, by the way, they're filming the reunion today in Los Angeles. Andy Cohen is in our beautiful city of Los Angeles. And I'm praying that this is going to be a one-part reunion. It would just be great. It would be, and by the way, if a season really doesn't land, let's not do a reunion. I'm good. And I know they're never going to do that because they want to sell commercial and advertising and all of this stuff, but let's not do it. Nah, we'll hit it up next. We'll go extra hard next year. We'll do one next year. Like, don't do it. It's like, and I know they're going to make it, if they make it 3 parts. And you know what? I've listened to enough Andy and paid attention to enough. Usually what happens with these, he'll go like, you know what? It was going to be 2 parts, but then something happened very surprising when we were there on the day. And all of a sudden we had to do another part. And I'm like, no, you didn't. You can just do 2 parts. Do a 2-part reunion. This thing does not deserve 3 parts. If you made this 1 part, it would probably be the best reunion you've had in years on Beverly Hills. But they will definitely not do that. So anyways, they're filming the reunion today, and I just can't imagine, I don't know. And then Amanda Frances, like, God bless her. She's grown on me in certain ways, but let's call a spade a spade. This woman is so odd and just unlikable in such a weird way that it like surprises me that she sells manifestation, because it seems like she has a hard time not making people feel weird in every conversation that she has. So I'm like, how does that work? How does that work on the outside world? Is it just because you're in a position of power, so people automatically listen to anything that you say because they're paying you for some secret to unlock manifestation for their ultimate desire of wealth? Because these ladies don't give a rip about Amanda Frances, and it's so obvious. But at the same time, every time you want to stick up for Amanda, she does open her mouth in a group scene, and you're like, God, you're insufferable. You are insufferable. And that doesn't mean I don't want her on next season. I'm not saying, but I am saying it is hard to imagine, because you even have Sutton trying to tell her how to be a reality star. No, Amanda, you're being a wussy right now. You got to get in there, Amanda Frances. Like, we're having Sutton, of all people, try to tell Amanda Frances how to be a reality star. That's scraping the bottom of the barrel. That's like a hat on a hat. What do you know? Like, wait, all of a sudden Sutton knows how to be a reality star? What's so great about Sutton is that she didn't know how to be a reality star. And so she was always flailing, and she didn't know how to argue, and she'd get, oh my God, well, I can't do this. And she'd say weird shit out of nowhere. But now Sutton has the keys to like be able to show somebody else how to be a reality star. And Kyle, it's like, it's like awesome that I feel like we're Kyle's crochet. It's like if you got a hobby, like you're crocheting or you like to do puzzle work, we're Kyle, like this reality show is Kyle's crochet. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just do it. It's a nice little thing that I do, and it kind of takes my mind off my actual life, which I really don't share at all until a couple years down the line. And then I'll tell you what was actually going on a couple years before. It's nice. It's a chance for me to get out of the house, just add to the prize pot of money we already have. And Kyle Richards is a legend. And Erica Jane, she actually, in her flailing for relevancy, is actually kind of entertaining. I wish this was this person all the way, I wish the person she is now was the person she was then. I wish she knew what was going to happen to her and see if she would have changed her ways. But it's like so funny when Amanda Frances is getting questioned from all angles about the cult storyline. And I'm just like, this is so funny. Even Erica Jane's like, tell him about the cult, Amanda, the cult. But I seem to remember when all the shit was going down with Tom Girardi and she was getting questioned by the ladies, she couldn't handle it. She fucking exploded. We're here to talk about our friends over at Factor. Now, somewhere between the first warm weekend and realizing short season is getting close, eating well stops feeling optional. And Factor is how I stopped letting a busy schedule be my excuse, because they have fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs, ready in 2 minutes. No planning, no cooking. And just for us personally, I wish Rebecca was here for this. We are like a couple weeks away from having our first child, and we are going to be using Factor those first couple of months because we want good meals that we can actually prepare so easily so we can take care of this baby. And Factor seems perfect for that. There's quality functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils. And these meals, they can fit into any of your goals, whether it be Rebecca and I or your goals. It makes healthier eating easy. You have calorie management. You can get more protein. You go on your website and there's everything. Like I just checked out their Chef's Choice weekly menu this week. You got a shredded chicken taco bowl with corn salsa and cilantro crema. You got pesto chicken and quinoa. You got a caramelized onion gourmet burger, a tangy southern chicken with red potatoes and cream corn. Are you kidding me? I'm going to eat all of those at like one sitting. There's 100 rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh and delicious through winter. And like I said, with options, you got high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support, and ready to eat salads. Plus, they have the new Muscle Pro collections, and that supports strength and recovery. And that's perfect if you're getting back into your workout routine. I feel attacked right now because I do need to get back into my workout routine. Always fresh, never frozen, ready in about 2 minutes, no prep, no stress, so you can actually stick to your goals or that you can raise a baby. So head to factormeals.com/SoBad50 off and use code SoBad50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. The offer is only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. So make healthier eating easy with Factor. I know I am. Oh, I didn't see you there. I just popped open my Olipop Classic Root Beer that I have been enjoying immensely. In fact, I've been enjoying all of their brands, including cream soda as well. I've been trying to break my habit of drinking like other traditional sodas, and Olipop is amazing. I'm proudly a member of the Olipop family now. This is a new kind of soda that combines the classic soda taste with the benefits of functional ingredient blend to support digestive health. I mean, when I drink this root beer, it really reminds me, my dad used to like pound root beer all the time as kids, and I would benefit from that as well. And this is just as amazing as what I remember. But on top of that, it promotes this kind of amazing digestive health as well. The 2 out of 3 Americans say they suffer from digestive issues, and 95% of Americans don't get the daily recommended amount of fiber. And Olipop is tackling both of these issues with a drink that tastes just like soda. So you can actually drink something that is good for you. That is a novel concept. It supports your digestive health. I mean, and you get the great taste of all of these amazing flavors. They got strawberry vanilla. They got classic grape. I've powered through like 36 of these in the last 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm fully addicted to Olipop. So you should be as well. And you can get a free can of Olipop right now to back up everything that I'm saying. Buy any 2 cans of Olipop in store, and we're going to pay you back for 1. It works on any flavor at any retailer. It's drinkolipop.com/SoBad. We're going to put that in the show notes as well. And Olipop is also sold online at drinkolipop.com. Plus, it's on Amazon and available in the soda aisle with the chilled beverages at thousands of retailers nationwide, including Walmart, Target, Costco, and Whole Foods. Olipop. I mean, and to Amanda Francis's credit, Amanda Francis isn't exploding when she's asked about the cult. In fact, she's already profiting off of it. We find out this episode, she's like, oh, you just manifested my new book. I'm going to write about the cult. And she's writing her own book. She's not having to pay a ghostwriter like Dorit is for her book. Anywho, we're going to do the recap, but there's a couple of stories that happened in the Beverly Hills universe this week, oddly enough, that will take a couple detours, and we'll talk about those. One is about Dorit defaulting on some loans for her house. Which then, that's one of my favorite pastimes when I count how many times this person has gone shopping throughout the season. And then I'm like, oh, God, I bet you wish you just had that cold hard cash to pay off your debt. Like that would have been nice at this point. We had a story about, Bethany Frankel sticking her nose in somebody else's business once again because she saw a clip. She doesn't watch the show. Saw a clip about Rachel Zoe, that scene with her sons in last week's episode. And of course, Bethany had to hop online and talk about the negativity of reality TV. And once again, that's just such a meta thing because it's like, oh, I've escaped reality TV. Girl, you did not escape reality TV. You literally share or you literally blab about every aspect of your life still. It's just that no networks or cable TV will work with you at this point. And also, yeah, let's just be truth tellers right now. Nobody doing TV wants to work with Bethany Frankel right now because she tried to sue Bravo and we never really got a clear consensus on how that ended. We never got a finality of that, but the reality reckoning seemed like it really petered off. And there were good elements about the reality reckoning. I do believe in mental health care for people that work on these shows. I do believe in better wages. I do believe in certain things like that, but always with Bethany, it came off like a personal vendetta against Andy Cohen. And when you have personal vendettas, that shit only flies so, it only fuels so far. But that was the word around town. It was that like after Bethany's failed HBO show over the pandemic, is that nobody was taking her calls. Nobody was wanting to work with her in the capacity of television. Which has got to make somebody angry, I would imagine. But it is so funny to like you to say it's really haunting to watch Rachel do that scene with her kids. Listen, I'm starting to watch Bethany's daughter more and more on her social media. Bethany shared that she got like facial herpes in St. Barth a couple of months ago. I'm like, that's not haunting? You don't think that's haunting? I watched you like scarf down like a greasy seafood dinner with your fingers where you looked like so hopped up on something. I'm like, you don't think that's haunting for the audience? That? But yeah, let's take it out on Rachel Zoe. But I will, in Rachel Zoe's defense, that conversation with her kids, like I said last week, there is not a doubt in my mind that Rachel had already had that conversation with her kids before they had that on television and filmed it. So it's real, but it's something that, like, it's not a surprise attack of like, come on in, I die, kids. Let's have this deep conversation in front of the cameras before I even told you. No, like, she told them before. It's not reenacting, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, that's what reality TV does. And Bethany knows that. Bethany, of all people, knows that. But for the audience, yeah, it is. You're like, wow, look at what Rachel is sharing with us. It makes us feel very special, like she trusts us, right? Or like on the other hand, you can be very judgmental about it, which is a great, it's an aspect of reality TV that a lot of people enjoy. When we don't know how to control our own lives, we can watch reality TV and go, oh, look at that person. Oh, that person's fucked up. That person, boo, you're doing something wrong with your life. Boo. That's exciting for the audience, right? Anywho, those are, well, I'm really fired up as always. Okay, so that's the opening salvo. We're going to take our first commercial break right now. We'll come back and we'll have one more commercial break and then we'll go all the way through. Okay. Thanks so much for being here today, guys. Okay, this is episode 13. It is called Read the Room because Kathy Hilton at one point towards the end of the episode goes, read the room. I thought you were Kyle. The description that DirecTV gives us says, Bose pulls out all the stops for their first night in Italy, including a surprise operatic performance. Sorry, Timothy Chalamet. Erica questions Sutton's motive for choosing Amanda as her roommate. Amanda's attempt to smooth things over with Dorit leads to frustration from Kyle and Sutton. Rachel receives a troubling text from home that there was a 2-for-1 sale at Gucci. So that's the description we have. So it says previously on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Rachel's like, I'm gonna die. I'm going away again, and you're gonna stay with your dad. Are you okay with that? And Rachel was very upset because Roger has a new girlfriend that he's kind of like trying to like sneakily bring around, and she does not want that to happen. Not on her watch while she's away, right? And then Bose, in a scene to Dorit, revealed that Kyle is worried about Dorit, or saying that she's worried about Dorit, and that Dorit's moods have been erratic. And then we had Amanda Francis in an episode saying, in 40 years of life, I've never ran away from a party crying. And Dorit's like, I thought you ran away from a cult, Amanda Francis. And Erica's like, zoinks. And Erica's like, we want to know about the cult. And Amanda's like, the longer I was there, the harder it was to get away. And Erica's like,
this is what the group needs to get from you, Amanda Francis.
And then Bose is like, I'm so excited to take a trip to Villa Joey Tribbiani, and we're going to travel in 3 groups. And then Amanda and Sutton, like I said, they share a room, even though they didn't need to because it's a castle. And Sutton's like, this trip, I want to help Amanda Francis be hood and understand, I say. And then Dorit in a scene is like, what did she say? Oh, no. Sutton talking to Amanda in the room at the end of last week's episode was like, well, Dorit, I want to tell you about Dorit. Dorit can be hard to talk to. It's going to be hard to get your point across, Amanda Francis. And Amanda's like, but I think if she wanted to get to know me, there would be space for me to speak. And so then we get our opening with the taglines, right? And Dorit's tagline is that she's finally unburdened. That was like her tagline because her book is called Unburdened as well. We read the description of the book last week, and there was big news in Dorit Kemsley land this week. Did you guys read about this? Is that we were wondering about Dorit's home, right? Well, we got some information this week, troubling information, is that she is facing a $6.5 million mansion foreclosure over a huge debt. I'm reading from a realityt.com article from March 11th. And it says, there's news circulating that Dorit may be facing pre-foreclosure on her house after racking up a huge debt. And it says, according to Radar Online, the Beverly Hills star estranged husband PK purchased their Encino mansion for $6.475 million in August of 2019. The home is massive with six bedrooms and 7 baths. The outlet said that PK used a startling number of unconventional lenders. Now, 2 of the lenders filed a default notice on January 21st, namely Tanka LLC and Private Money Solutions. These lenders provided $600,000 and $150,000 respectively. That capital plus interest is still allegedly outstanding, totaling $842,376. Now, the loan was taken out in 2022, and according to the filed documents, Dorit hasn't made a repayment since September of 2025. Dorit must make the missing payments or she could risk losing the home to non-judicial foreclosure. This means the lender may foreclose on the property without having to go to court, which is a common practice in California. Now, in December of 2025, there was another default notice filed by Prime Recon LLC, and they owed the lender a mortgage amounting to over $5 million plus $294,321 in missed payments and penalties from April to December of the same year. And it is unclear if that has been paid. So that is a lot of money, folks. That is very, very scary. So we will find out. But that news kind of just dropped this week, which is very interesting. So listen, that actually, if Andy's going to talk about that at the reunion, I'd be down for that. That actually would be really interesting. But it's just that nobody is really honest in this show in particular. So you're not, it's like you're probably not going to get an actual answer, but it does break your heart because I just don't trust this PK with finances. Like, this guy's going to weird lenders and he seems to have a lot of them, and that shit stacks up, right? Anyways, it's 6:11 p.m. in Italy, and Bose, who has no financial troubles at all, is getting a massage. And then somebody's like, hey, Natalie, here's your luggage. And I was like, who? Natalie? And then I just remember, oh, there's a Natalie character that's there. Sutton is still tracking her luggage. Oh, I don't know where my luggage is. I say. And I guess all the luggage is getting delivered to the house. And Kyle's like, where's my Louis bag? This is what happens when I don't keep an eye on my bags. But I'm so rich that I just don't do that anymore. But I do have a Louis bag, and I just name dropped it on the show. And we see a car service at 6:53 p.m. taking Dorit, Rachel, and Erica, who are not at the Villa Joey Tribbiani yet. And Dorit is in full Italian mode. She's like, grazie, Italiano, pepperoni, mozzarella. And Rachel's like, you guys, I haven't been here in so long. I die. And Dorit's like, oh, to be able to be in a villa in Florence. And Rachel's like, I've only stayed in hotels. And Dorit's like, it's been so long since I've been able to speak Italian. Maggiano's, casapepe, cacio a pepperoni, mozzarella, capiche. And Erica is like,
Wow, this is stunning, and we haven't even gotten inside.
and so they're getting their tour of the estate. And Erica goes,
Oh, I'm home.
So Bad It's Good is sponsored by our friends over at Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it, and unfortunately, traditional big wireless carriers also seem to like keeping my money too, and they like keeping my dad's money, and that is why we switched him over to Mint Mobile, and it was so easy. He was even able to keep his same number. So stop overpaying for wireless just because that's how it's always been. Mint exists purely to fix that. Mint Mobile is here to rescue with premium wireless plans starting at just $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. So you can bring your own phone and number like we did with my dad. You can activate with eSIM in minutes and start saving immediately. No long-term contracts, no hassle. So ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. So if you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/SoBad. That's mintmobile.com/SoBad, even though it's so good. Upfront payments of $45 for 3 months, 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent of $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and AMP fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. We are here to talk about our friends over at Hims. Now, are you tired of trying to figure out what actually works for hair loss? Through Hims, you can get access to clear solutions, expert guidance, and an online process that takes the confusion out of care. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medication, serums, and sprays. These are doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can stop further hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. Because you shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. There are no hidden fees, there's no surprise costs, just real personalized care on your schedule. So think of Hims as your digital front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for real health concerns all in one place. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/SoBad. That's hims.com/SoBad for your free online visit. hims.com/SoBad. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. And Dorit is like, Dorit's crying, phony tears. Just like, oh, look at this, woo. And Eric is like,
This is like a movie. This is like movie shit. Like the shit you see in movies, not real life.
I like that Erica has you explain what movies are to me. Like, this is like the movie shit. Like shit you see in the movies, not real life. Yeah, you mean the movies, right? No, we got it. Rachel in a talking head goes, no offense to Sutton and Sedona, but Bose should be nominated for president. It literally feels like a romance film, like Sophia Loren should be sitting in one of these rooms. And by the way, just with how the political system is, I do think you would probably be able to nominate Bose for president at this point. We probably, yeah. And Dorit, they're given the tour, and Dorit has the guy's like, you have a private Suwana. And Dorit's like, oh, Suwana. Oh. And she goes on the floor and she's being all dramatic. And Erica's like,
I've never seen anybody fall on the floor for a sauna, but okay.
And Dorit is like, oh, pepperoni, mozzarella, ho, 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 ho. And then we see Jennifer, Tilly, and Kathy get off their flight, and it's 7:38 p.m. And Jennifer is riding with Kathy in the car, and she's like, I want to do a photograph in the pool. I'm going to do a thirst trap underwater, Kathy Hilton. And Kathy's like, you're going to take your clothes off? And Jennifer's like, oh, yes. In a talking head, she says that every time she's on vacation, she thinks she wants to do like the nakedest thirst trap photo. And she's like, I don't know what it is, but the summer sun, she goes, I did it last year in St. Lucia. And we have a flashback to 2024, which was last season of Beverly Hills. And she says, my body's got a lot of wibbly wobbly parts. And the water is very forgiving. And then she always has like that throaty Countess Luann laugh. Because she talks very high. And then she goes, my body has tons of my body's all wibbly wobbly parts. Anyways, Kathy pulls up to the estate and she's like, this is really charming. And Kathy's like, look at those hedges. Wow, I thought those were Kyle. And Jennifer goes, this looks like Downtown Abbey. It's Downton Abbey, but she's like, this looks like Downtown Abbey. And the guy's like, welcome to Villa Joy Tribbiani. And they go up the elevator, and Kathy's already in on this guy. Like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Do you have a fan for me? I like the sound. I like the sound of a fan. It puts me at ease. And we go to the Suite del Prete. You have the Suite del Prete. And then he's like, oh, are you ladies ready for a surprise? And then he just fully gets naked. No, he goes, he takes him into this room, and it's a chapel. It's not a chapel roan. It's an actual church chapel blessed by one of the popes. One of the popes in 1700, you guys. And Jennifer goes, I can feel the ghosts in here. I can feel them. I can feel the ghosts. And so then Kathy's unpacking. Kyle's doing her hair. Some girl, Natalie, she's doing her hair. And Erica. Sorry. So Erica's talking to her glam squad, and it's like,
Dorit was accosting this older couple with her Italian.
I do love the Dorit's just running around, just slamming Italian phrases at people. Rachel's like, I FaceTimed him 2 hours ago. And because Rachel's talking about FaceTiming with her kids. And she was just saying like, oh, you're at dad's now. Does Sky want to talk to me, Gaius? And Gaius is like, no, Mom. And Rachel's like, we're going to chill tonight and have a nice night. Here, I need a drink. Do you? She's like talking to Dorit. And Dorit's like, big time. I need a drink big time. And then Jennifer's like, I'm doing glam. I'm going to wear a feathery hat. A feathery hat. Nothing says Italian like feathers. And then Natalie, that girl Natalie, that we don't really know that well, and Amanda, they're down first, meeting up for like drinks and dinner. And Amanda orders a still water, because she's still feeling not hydrated from the flight. And then Sutton meets up with Bose upstairs. And Sutton's like, I feel clean, Bose. I put on some clean clothes. Because she still doesn't have her bag. So she kept these clothes, I guess, in like her like carry-on or something like that. And her luggage is in Frankfurt, Germany, it says. Kyle walks in a robe, and she's like, I need a steamer and some glue. What do you need the glue for? I need some steamer and some glue. I need to sniff it. And Kyle's like, how's your roommate Amanda? And Son's like, oh. And Kyle's like, I need some clarification. Like, the way you guys were in Sedona, Sutton, and now you're rooming with her? And Bose is like, Sutton is going to take her down in her sleep. And Kyle says, there's examples of Sutton. Kyle, like, there's all these examples of Sutton and Amanda not getting along. And Kyle's like, it's like she felt like she had to be nice to Amanda because things aren't comfortable. And now she's sleeping in twin beds with Amanda. It's like, shut up, Kyle. Even though it's fake to begin with because there's enough rooms for everybody, I don't really question it. I thought, Sutton's excuse of saying, like, I wasn't treated well in this group at the beginning. And I wanted to, like, say that it's okay. Like, Amanda can't be an island. And I just love, like, Kyle's like, it's so weird. Like, Kyle, you don't share shit. Give me a break. Natalie's downstairs telling Amanda, hey, I'm Natalie. You might not know me. No, she says, I'm new to the midriff game, because I guess she's wearing a midriff or something. Rachel Zoe comes down. Rachel hugs Amanda. And Francis is in Dolce. And Amanda goes, are you in Dolce, Rachel? And Rachel's like, Oh my God. Because they're in like a similar Dolce outfit, which somebody's getting fired back at home. And Rachel's like, I don't pack with the strategy at all. Which is bullshit. We've watched her pack with her assistant multiple times this season, and it seems like there is a full strategy. And she's like, I think these are like old Dior from like a lifetime ago. And then Jennifer comes down in her big, like I thought there was like a peacock on top of her head. Rachel in a talking head goes, Tilly is my hero. She's like an art form. When she commits, she committed. She commits. And, so Rachel, sorry, I keep giggling at myself. I apologize, you guys, because I'm not being funny. I'm just tired. Anyways, Rachel says that Jennifer Tilly is the chicest. And Kathy comes down and Bose comes down, and Bose is in like this huge pink getup with big hair. Erica Jane comes down in shine, and Eric in a talking head goes,
I really want to know what Rachel really thinks about twinning with Amanda in a Dolce print dress. She probably burned it.
And then Kyle comes down, and of course we're waiting for Dorit. Dorit is a no-show. And Stefano, the head guy's like, Bose, the very big surprise is ready. The big surprise is ready. So they call Dorit. It goes to voicemail. And Kyle in a talking head goes, Dorit is late this evening. I mean, it's like, she's always late even in her own time zone. Come on, you guys. We can do better than Dorit being late all the time. Dorit's been late all the time since her very first season. Anyways, Erica goes up and grabs Dorit, and it's like,
come on, everybody's waiting for you.
Downstairs, Jennifer Tilly goes, Amanda, have you seen Dorit since she's been back? And Amanda goes, I have not. In a talking head, Amanda goes, talking to Dorit feels like torture. Where's the lie, folks? Where is the lie? We have a flashback to all the Dorit Amanda Francis scenes throughout the season. And Amanda goes, my experience is when you get to the heart of a person, you can hear each other. I'm going to try one more time with this fucking person, Dorit. Anyways, upstairs, Dorit to Erica goes, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. She's doing that Italian accent. And Erica's like,
no, seriously.
And Dorit goes, Erica. Dorit goes, Erica, I literally just got my luggage. It was in Kathy's room. And Erica's like, okay, we need to go. And Dorit goes, I need to find my bag. Oh, Erica, did you take my rings? And Erica's like,
absolutely not.
Which is kind of funny to think that Erica might be shoplifting from her friends at some point. But anyways, they finally come down. Everybody's applauds for Dorit. And Dorit's like, hello, gorgeous. And Stefano's like, we are definitely ready for the grand surprise. And they get led into the Villa Joey Tribbiani Theater. And there's about to be a performance in this theater for all the ladies. And I thought, how funny would it be? It was another performance of the Sisters of Salt from the Salt Lake City finale. It was just all the ladies. There is one sister that is like this. But no, it's a piano on the stage. And, there's an opera singer, a piano player, an opera singer. There's this Asian opera singer and then a female opera singer. And the whole room is like hand painted in the 1700s. Like it's it's just a really amazing setup. And it's like, la, 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 and this guy even has like a prop on stage, like a potion, and he drinks the potion. And, it's beautiful. I mean, Timothée Chalamet would hate this because, Timothée Chalamet went on record saying that he that ballet and opera, it's a dying art form, but acting as a ping pong player is a cool art form, which, by the way, the Oscars are this Sunday. Are you guys going to be watching? Anyways, all the ladies are watching the opera, and Bose in a talking head goes, I love opera. I'm on the LA Opera brand board. If these ladies are going to appreciate, if they're going to appreciate this culture, I mean, they've got to appreciate this culture, right? Amanda Francis looks totally bored. Jennifer in the talking head goes, I'm getting weepy. My mother was an opera singer. So growing up in my house, I'm in seventh heaven listening to these singers, which is a fun little fact. Like, look how much opera we've been associated with this week. In fact, they brought up opera in the Ladies of London episode tonight as well. So yeah, take that, Timothy Chalamet. Jennifer Tilly's mom was an opera singer. Anyways, the performance ends. They all clapped. I'm shocked that Erica Jane didn't sing along like she did at that one Christmas episode. Remember, with Diana Jenkins? Remember that? And she was like, Sutton in the talking head goes, I'm going to let you all in on a little secret. I fall asleep at the opera. Please don't tell no one. So Timothy Chalamet would be a Sutton Brown fan. We cut to Amanda Frances going up to Dorit, and she's like, hey, Dorit, can we speak? And Dorit's like, I just need to take a shit. Hold on. And Amanda takes a selfie with Kyle while waiting for Dorit. And Kyle's like, have you and Dorit spoken at all? And Amanda goes, no, hopefully we can get to a better place. Hopefully we have time to, collect our thoughts and settle. And then Dorit comes into the room and she's like, Bose, when do we do dinner? Amanda wants to have a little conversation. And Amanda walks into the room and Dorit says, you know what? I don't want to hold dinner up. Which, by the way, Dorit loves holding things up. She's late all the time. And Bose goes, well, Dorit, we can eat without you. And Dorit's like, I would rather have dinner and then chat after. Well, that sounds like a good plan. Pussy. And Amanda goes, okay, but right after dinner. Sutton in a talking head goes, well, Dorit has zero respect for Amanda Frances. So Amanda's got to show her, one, I say she cares about her relationship, and two, that she wants to fix it and have a conversation, and she got to stop being such a weenie. Come on. Come on, girl. You can't be such a weenie with Dorit. So all of a sudden, Sutton knows how to handle all the reality show situations. But Amanda goes, can we speak privately? Dorit? And Dorit's like, I want to enjoy myself. If you have something to say it. After dinner, and we'll have dinner and then you say it, okay? So Dorit's making this so tough on Amanda Frances. If Amanda wasn't such a drip, you'd feel really bad for her, but it is weird. Like, Amanda wants to confront the situation, and Dorit's like, I need a big belly of pasta and some vodka. Anyways, we cut to Stefano taking the ladies like, dinner is ready. And they go outside to this beautiful outside dining setup, and Rachel's like, I have to take a video of this. And they're walking down the stairs, and Son's like, well, I don't think this is such a good idea for my tiny ankles, my neuropathy. Ooh, my tiny ankles might just snap on these stairs. And Kyle's like, oh, I got to show Alexia all these beautiful flowers. And remember, Alexia's wedding's coming up, which I believe is going to be the season finale episode. So they're pouring wine for the table. And remember, Amanda doesn't drink, but Amanda goes, I'll just take a tiny bit, just a taste. I hate when people go, just a taste, just a taste, just to wet the whistle. Yeah. And they make their own olive oil there. And Kathy's like, this is really good olive oil. Kathy's just chugging the olive oil. And they start passing around the food. It's like Tuscany classics, pecorino cheese. And you got the prosciutto with melon. And Jennifer Tilly, she goes, cheese. She just keeps going, cheese. I want the cheese. And Rachel says, I'm so much happier in Europe where I'm supposed to be. It's like my retirement plan. I want to have a chateau overseas and just live in caftans and make jewelry on the beach. I don't know. Rachel, manifest it. You got the top manifester at the table. Talk to Amanda and see how that can happen. But she says she's going to be perpetually tan when she dies, and she will die tan, she says. And she says she's going to die wearing Chanel. So if there's any grave robbers out there, Rachel, don't hit up Rachel's coffin like they hit up her home last weekend. Anyways, Kathy, they're passing around the food, and Kathy goes, that beef looks beautiful. And she goes, sexy and gorgeous. Kathy Hilton. Don't take Kathy Hilton to a sizzler. Oh my God, that T-bone looks delightful. Wow. Look at the legs on that filet. Ooh. Wow, that beef looks good. I'm Kathy Hilton for Omaha Steaks. Sometimes when I'm cooking for me and Rick and Paris and Nikki and the two sons I don't really talk about that much, I like to have Omaha steaks. In one package, you'll get 5 pre-cut strips of bacon, 2 beautiful grass-fed hamburger patties, and 4 T-bones. Kyle says, Dorit, can I ask you a question? I saw that you were at a dinner with PK. And there's a page 6 headline that pops up like, Dorit Kemsley breaks bread with PK. And Erica goes,
Girl, we flew all the way over here and you didn't tell me this shit? What is going on with you, Kemsley? I quit.
And Dorit goes, well, I sort of pulled, back and I choose who I speak to because it's very sensitive in my life because we have a fucking mole in the group named Kyle. But by the way, that's smart of Dorit. Like, yeah, you got to pull back what you tell because if it gets back to Kyle, that's getting directly back to PK. But she says she doesn't want to be judged and have people's opinions on, it's like how she feels or what I say. And she says there are certain people in this group where I do feel comfortable sharing. And Erica goes,
well, you should have told me. I was insulted.
And Dorit goes, how do you think I feel, Erica Jane? Seeing pics of you holding hands with that guy. And remember, Erica was holding hands with her boyfriend, that guy Shrek. And Erica says, well, no one knew that. No one knew that. And Dorit goes, exactly. And Erica lets us know that was a second date. Erica will hold your hand on a second date.
Yeah, I'm sexual. On a second date, I might hold your hand without a glove. I'm Erica Jane.
And Kyle goes, so what happened, Dorit? Good? Was it good? What happened? And Dorit goes, well, it's not about getting back together, I'll tell you that much. It was just all about the kids and Boy George and, we're inserting a consistent schedule. And Kyle's like, that's a very good sign. And Bose goes like, okay, do you feel happy where you are? And Dorit goes, I feel relieved. I do. I feel relieved. Kyle in a talking head goes, if this dinner with PK went well, I'm hoping it's the first step of mending that relationship. And, Dorit can get into a better place mentally and stop dropping $5,000 at the Gap. And Kathy goes, well, I see you're being stronger, Dorit. I do. This meat is sexy as hell. Did I say that already? And Rachel's like, small steps are good. Small steps are good. And Jennifer Tilly goes, I want more meat. I'd like more meat. Beautiful. Thank you. That piece right there. More meat. Cheese and meat. The Jennifer Tilly way. And Erica goes,
I'm shocked to see you two sharing a room, Sutton and Amanda Francis. I didn't think it was the smoothest at your place.
And then we get a flashback when Sutton was like, well, Amanda, you caused that fight with Dorit and Kyle. You're a wimp. And Amanda was like, don't call me a wimp in my own home. You're in my home. Don't call me a wimp. Ugh. But then Erica's like, in a talking head, I don't know if it's a good thing to be sharing rooms because you're trying to be like better with Dorit. Are you trying to cause problems? Sutton Brown, Erica says. This is why this show is so stupid. This is a non-starter issue about sharing rooms. And if Dorit got pressed that she was like, the guy, And Sutton is like, well, I told her. I told her my thoughts and why I wanted to share the room. I told her. And then in a flashback, Sutton said Sutton was quite strong in how you've been handling Dorit. But when I think about it, I've been new to this group and I felt apart from the group and I don't want Amanda feeling alone. That makes sense to me. And Sutton goes, well, I just wanted to say to Amanda, look, it's okay to have an opinion, I say, but you should have told Dorit. You should have. And Amanda goes, I believe fully if I explained what happened and why it happened and how it happened and what I meant by it and the full context, it would be clear and no one was talking bad about you, Dorit. And Dorit's like, you don't know me very well, Amanda Francis. You don't know the situation. Oh, having that judgment. If it was coming from a good place, I would expect you would have a one-on-one sit-down. And if I invited your opinion or advice, it felt like when I asked if you had sent it, it was all... it's so infuriating. Sorry, guys. I'm getting worked up because Dorit is... So what we're saying in this is if you're new in the show, you can't have an opinion on one of your cast members. And she was like, oh, you're putting it on Kyle. Yes, Kyle has the same opinion, though, but Amanda should feel free to be able to talk about anybody. And if that's what's being talked about, Amanda was like, yeah, that doesn't seem like it's a good situation. Dorit probably shouldn't, it's like you don't want to arm PK. And this is such a non-starter. And Rachel says, Amanda, I have a question. Do you feel like talking about PK and her situation is not a good thing? What is your actual opinion? And Amanda goes, I've said it multiple times. It could make her life hard. Yeah. It's like the fact that everyone or a lot of us share the same opinion, but you're most offended by mine, that's exactly it. Dorit has found somebody lower than her on the totem pole to be able to be like, how dare you? And Dorit's like, so you heard Kyle's opinion and you adopted it as your own. And that's the silliest thing, too, because Amanda, I feel like I'm standing up for Amanda now. She doesn't seem to adopt anybody's opinion. And Amanda goes, I didn't adopt it. I just agree with it. And Dorit's like, 6 of one or half dozen of another. I'm asking if that's how you felt. And Erica's like,
does it bother you that you would speak one way to your face and another way at Kathy's?
And Dorit's like, absolutely. And Kyle's like, but that can be supporting you because we're looking out for you. And Bose goes, but a different opinion you have because you know her, Kyle. You have history. I don't. I hope you girls all felt like you were doing something at this dinner, but it was just like the dumbest conversation at all. And Dorit's like, if a friend is coming from a good place and says it once, and then to other people, and then say it behind your back to people who don't know you, it suddenly starts to feel like it's no longer looking out for you or trying to look out for you. But that comment is more directed at Kyle and not Amanda, and that's where Dorit's true anger lies, is at Kyle, yet she's taking it out on Amanda. And then Kathy finally has to speak up, like, oh, did I tell you about the sexy meat? She goes, you know what it is when someone doesn't know someone, you have to learn to read the room and know your place. Whoa! Kathy just dropped the gauntlet to Amanda Francis. Amanda, you've got to learn to read the room and know your place, little lady. And Erica's laughing. She's like,
ha ha ha, if Kathy Hilton, whoa! Who is,
but she's basically saying, if Kathy Hilton told you to read the room and know your place, you are fucked. If you had Kathy Hilton pulling her head up out of that beautiful, sexy piece of meat to tell you to read the room, Kathy's just there as a friend of. Anyways, now we come back from break and there's like intense orchestra, like violin music, and this amps up the scene too, like makes you really believe you're watching something here, right? And Dorit's like, hey, man, Kathy Hilton. Jennifer Tilly in a talking head goes, in this moment, Kathy is saying what everyone is thinking, but Kathy says it, which is really surprising because Kathy is a peacemaker. It shut everyone up. She must have really gotten under Kathy's skin. And Amanda says, well, what about the fact? It is my opinion. It is an informed opinion. I work closely with a lot of children of divorced parents. I did see parents talking bad and about each other and making it hard on the family. And Rachel's like, but she is not talking bad to her kids. And Natalie, hey, I'm Natalie. I'm new here. Natalie's like, you are not her therapist, Amanda, so put it in the friendship box and not in a therapeutic box, which it makes a little sense to me. Good. Hey, this Natalie girl, she's an up-and-comer, right? And Kyle's like, what do you need from Amanda, Dorit? And Dorit's like, I don't need anything from Amanda. Kyle, you're not the therapist. I don't need anything. So what Dorit did was heard Natalie say therapeutic box. So then therapy's in her head. And she's like, you're not my therapist either, Kyle. And Kyle's like, do you need an apology? And Dorit goes, I don't need anything. And Amanda goes, let me ask you this. Why you brought up the cult at dinner the other night, Dorit? What was your intention when you went back 376 blog posts of mine to a blog I wrote 14 years ago? And then Kathy goes, if I was annoyed with someone, I would do a deep dive. Finally, we have somebody honest at the table. Kathy's like, I've stalked many people. Fuck them, man. I'll start Reddit threads. I'll start full-blown rumors. I will ruin people's lives. I've had people killed. You know that, right? You know, okay. And Rachel goes, I definitely wouldn't read 300 of blog posts. And Dorit goes, it's called Google. Amanda Francis, Google. And Amanda goes, if you search Amanda Francis cult, it doesn't come up. I checked. And Bose goes, girl, it sure does. It sure does. But also, is it something to be hidden? So Amanda obviously has done this. So I do wonder how Bose found out, because it obviously, when this was filmed, didn't come up, because Amanda Francis would have checked. But Amanda goes, no, not at all. It just feels like a deep dive. It's like, were you looking for dirt, Dorit? And Dorit goes, you should take it as a compliment. I don't Google anyone. You said you sold hundreds of thousands of books, so I went to research my book, and I came across this blog. That is a flimsy fucking excuse, and you know it, Dorit. I was just doing a little light book research, and I read through 376 blog posts of yours. But Rachel goes, a cult is a serious word. I die. And Amanda goes, absolutely. The criteria for a cult means the environment has to be unique, controlling, systems rewarding punishment. And Dorit's like, what did you experience, Amanda? And then Amanda's like, oh, you want to talk about the cult right now? Yeah, Amanda, obvious. I like Amanda goes, what? Like the cult right now? And then Kathy goes, I can't hear down here. I cannot hear at all. I'm just lost right now. Oh, you said, oh, no, I can't hear. And Amanda goes, okay, sure. So the way the reward and punishment worked. And Erica goes, well,
I think you should stop and tell them how you got into it. That's what you should do.
And Rachel goes, the purpose of the cult is I'll give you a highlight reel. This is like a bad Scooby-Doo episode where they're trying it's like, I knew it was you all along, cult. And Amanda goes, okay, growing up in the Bible Belt, it's like there were youth pastors that I was close to, and they were like parents to me. And they were moving far away to start a church, and they recruited a lot of the youth to go with them. And at first, it was pretty chill, but then it was scary isolating, and then scary controlling. And then I wasn't speaking to my family. And the more isolating it gets, like you don't have words or language for the regular world anymore because you're in this situation that's not normal. So you can't go into the world anymore because how you speak and how you think is not normal anymore. Which Amanda, listen, she's annoying as all piss, but she does, it's like she knows her shit sometimes. It's like, yeah, that all made sense. And Dorit's like, were you going out into the world though? And Amanda goes, yeah, we all had day jobs to support the church, but out in the world, we were promoting the church. We were recruiting, and it got crazier as it went on. And I said, I want to go to college. And Jennifer Tilly's like, you're in your 20s. And Amanda goes, well, I met them when I was 16, and when I was 19, I followed them down. And Erica's like,
when you're isolated, when were you isolating?
In a talking head, Erica's like,
when I think of cult, I think of Charles Manson murdering people, or that Mother God cult.
Remember that Mother God docuseries that was on HBO Max? Was it last year or the year before? But remember, she drank. It was just crazy. It was one of the best docuseries. I think there was a couple episodes. But you can tell Erica Jane just sits at home watching HBO Max a lot, like us. But she was like,
that Mother God cult. They all pray to this woman who turned silver, and they're carrying her dead body in a station wagon with Christmas lights, and it's like, Mother God and Mother God people, leave me the fuck alone, Mother God people.
She actually says that, leave me the fuck. Don't worry, even the cults don't want you, Erica. And Jennifer goes, it's not crazy until it gets crazy. Erica in a talking head goes, these things happen. It's tightly controlled environments. And, some people thought Bikram yoga was a cult, right? And then Dorit's like, were there any sexual abuse? And Amanda goes, emotional, psychological, but never physical or sexual. And Dorit's like, but there were boys and girls in the cult, and they would want the girls to marry the boys. And Amanda goes, yeah, and make babies right away, so you're stuck there. And then Dorit was like, do they let you leave freely? And Amanda goes, oh, I ran away in the middle of the night. Zoinks! Whoa. And then they're like, did they ever track you down and bring you back? And Amanda's like, yeah, they tried a lot. But she says, I called where the pastor was ordained, and I told them, you better call this guy and tell him to leave me alone. And I never heard from him ever again. And then Jennifer goes, wow, that was easy. And then she does like a throaty phlegm. Jennifer in a talking head goes, I think everyone is interested in the idea that Amanda, who seems to have it all together, was in a cult. And Dorit says, if you had to escape in the middle of the night, surely there had to be some sort of pressure. And Jennifer goes, we kept expecting there to be more, and there just wasn't. So this is like what a non-starter this is, was that like it's a very intense situation. You want to give it its due, but it's not the Mother God cult. It's not Manson. It's not Nixium. So it's like, yeah, Jennifer, it's like Jennifer's disappointed like the rest of the ladies are disappointed because truly they wanted there to be physical abuse. They wanted there to be something tawdry like sexual abuse. And it's like, wait, Amanda was just able to get out of there and you called the ordained person and just told him to leave me alone. I never heard from him again. They wanted they wanted somebody chasing you down. That's what they were expecting. And it's like, oh, okay. So what else? What are we going to talk about now? But Amanda says, I'm happy you brought it up because it wasn't on the forefront of my mind. But I had a great conversation with Erica, and nobody ever says that. And then I sat down and I outlined my next book. And Bose laughs when Amanda says this. Bose goes, huh, huh. And it's going to be on this topic. It's kind of perfect. I'm happy about it. And Jennifer Tilly goes, do you want to go back? Did you want to go back after you left? And Dorit was like, there was something that made you want to leave? The system? And Amanda goes, oh man, I don't know if I have the stamina to tell the story. Just hold on. And she takes a sip of water, and Dorit's like, if you're going to write a book about it, you're going to need to have the stamina for it. Dorit really trying to keep this scene going. Like, okay, I'll cut her down, right? You better have the stamina if you're going to write a book. Oh, I'm unburdened. And Amanda goes, I can write a book. I've proven that. So Amanda throws that out like, boom, I've written a book before. I've already done that. Touché, Dorit. Amanda in a talking head goes, I believe in life, when you're open, you get everything you need. But I was thinking about that too. Is like, this is what Amanda Frances considers being open, because she seems pretty miserable and she seems to make other people around her kind of miserable. So like, that's being open. Like, it worked for you in the sense of money, and it seems like you have a good family. So that's great. But everything else, it's like, how is this being open good? We all kind of think that you're like a little repugnant. You're fun to watch sometimes. You know what? She's fun to watch more solo than she is with groups, if that makes sense. But she says, I didn't know I needed a batshit crazy person to bring up the cult all the time to inspire me to write. But God delivered, and we are going to capitalize. We are going to write the book. Thank you, Dorit. Bless her and her ghostwriter. Like, Amanda Frances is pretty good in talking heads. It's like pretty cutting because Amanda Frances has had time to process and think and then speak, right? And that's why she's not great in scenes, because she has to like throw it all out there immediately. And it's not that she can't keep up. She just is too set in her ways, right? And Son's like, well, everybody's like, why do you want a room with Amanda? But she's interesting, I'll say, in this very wild way. You had a very interesting life, Amanda Frances. And Erica's like,
is the rooming going good? How's it going?
So now we're off that. Now we're back to Sutton rooming with Amanda Frances after the cult talk. And Amanda goes, we listened to Taylor Swift as we got ready. And then Erica goes,
oh, God.
Fuck you, Erica Jane. How dare you even say, oh, God, to Taylor Swift? I'm sorry, that's not Pattin' the Pussy or whatever song that you do, that you lip sync. Sorry. But Sutton's like, take it easy, take it easy, come on. Rachel in a talking head goes, what just happened? And she snorts, what just happened? And Sutton's like, well, I just wanted to make sure she felt welcome, here with us. That's what I wanted to do. And Erica's like,
you're getting soft, Sutton Brown.
And Kathy's like, she can turn on a dime. And Erica goes,
you're up to something, Sutton Brown.
Erica's praying she's up to something because the season is a dud. We cut to the next day. So now we're at the next day. I always want to know how these nights end. Like, do they just like one by one stumble off to bed? Like, do they like, it's like Summer House. We watch them party till 4 a.m. Like, is there anybody out there? Jennifer Tilly's like, pour me another drink. And she's just out there dancing like with the fire. Like, what's going on at night? Anyways, the next day, Kyle's like stretching and she's got her little running outfit on. She goes running. And then Amanda is filming an Instagram reel. And she's like, morning, my loves. I have good news. I'm writing the God book this morning. I just started the intro, and my next book is going to be out in the world. I'm so excited. And Dorit's getting glam with money that she doesn't have, and she's like, I'm going shopping today. The collections you can get in Italy are different from what you can get in America. Woo! And the glam is like, of course, girl. Like, yeah, can I get your credit card number? We cut to Jennifer Tilly coming down the elevator, and she's like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this elevator. And then she gets scared by like a stuffed polar bear. And she's like, help, help. It's very funny and cute, but I don't believe it's real for a heartbeat. Like I just don't, but it's fun to watch. And Jennifer's like, I just want a cappuccino. And then we cut to Sutton and Amanda sitting under an umbrella outside for breakfast. And Sutton's just monologuing. She's like, I love a healthy fruit. And I'm eating these things that are akin to Cheetos. Who doesn't love a Cheeto, right? And Kyle comes in like winded from her run. What's happening, girls? Amanda goes, I'm writing my book. I got less than 6 hours of sleep, but I feel better than I did the day before. And Kyle's like, how did you feel about last night? And Amanda goes, if I were to be really honest, to me, the whole dinner felt hostile and tense. And that's not how I want to do dinner. And Son's like, well, then you got to make it stop, Amanda Francis. And Amanda goes, I think the person who can keep their cool and say what they want to say has the control. In a talking head, Amanda says, I like time to think about what's being said and format my thoughts to be clear and about how I feel and not be emotionally reactive like Craig Conover. So I always try to speak from a calm, regulated place, and usually there's good things that come about from that. And Sutton's like, well, I would go crazy if some person found something about me online and try to be negative and tell me about this cult and tell me I'm a weirdo. And Kyle's like, yeah, didn't you feel judged about the cult? So they're really trying to get like some sort of reaction from Amanda. And Amanda goes, she was probably judging me. It's like, why if you have a problem with me judging you about PK, why are you judging me about the cult? Amanda in a talking head says, a belief in this group seems to be unless you're acting crazy, you're not expressing yourself. And that is untrue. A lot more strength in stepping back and asking, is this worth my time and energy? I can't get anywhere with Dorit. I'm not going to engage because what's the point? But that monologue right there goes, uh-oh, if I'm a producer, that's the whole point of this show. But Amanda nails it. This group, you got to be crazy to express yourself. And so somebody like Amanda, she doesn't do that, but on top of it, she's annoying at the same time. So Amanda really does have to ask herself, is this worth her time and energy? And that's why I think it's like 50-50 if she comes back next season. And I would probably say 70% she's not coming back. And it'll be a mutual decision, even though she'll decide that she's not coming back. And Sutton goes, Amanda, I'm sorry, but you're frustrating me. You're frustrating me, as Lisa Barlow would say. And Kyle's like, don't let her or anyone steamroll you. Anyways, I'm going to get ready, guys. I can't talk in circles. You can't make a cat a dog. I'm like, okay, yeah, you can't make a cat a dog. Great, Kyle. Amazing. Good work in this scene. I love it. Well, I tried 5 minutes. I got to go take a dump. Okay. And then Kyle leaves, and this was when the leaf was stuck to her butt, which for me was the most exciting part of this episode. And Sutton's like, come on, Amanda Francis, connect with your feelings and share them. You can do it. And Sutton's walking off, and she's like, why do I keep eating these Cheetos? And then we cut to Rachel Zoe. And she is freaking out. She's like, I die. I woke up, I overslept, and I see this text from Caius, and I want to kill myself. I can't believe I wasn't awake. It must have been 6 a.m. my time. I got this text from Caius, and he basically tells me, his dad sat him down and talked about the girlfriend. I'm going to throw up. And then Dorit comes in. It's like, she goes, baby. And Rachel's like, look at this text from Caius. And Dorit's like, shut the F up. Ooh. Rachel in a talking head goes, a month ago, she showed up at the airport before they left for camp. And then I believe he said, this is my friend. So the conversation hadn't been had that he has a girlfriend. And when they hear it for real, it's different than just suspecting it. And Dorit's like, have you had the conversation for real? And Rachel says, you want to know what the conversation was? Don't you dare, Roger, tell them about her or bring her around them without my consent. And the airport was the worst. I annihilated him for that. And the first night you're with these kids in 5 weeks and this is what you do? And Dorit's like, this is the stuff of nightmares. Ooh, it's like defaulting on a loan. Ooh. And Rachel goes, he knows I'm away. He knows I'm away. And Dorit in the talking head says, Roger sharing that he has a girlfriend has such a finality to the split. Now, listen, guys are doofy, and I'm not going to make an excuse for Roger. It's shitty. If they had an agreement to not speak about this, the fact that he still thought, he was probably trying to, listen, in his dumb head, he's probably like, this is my son. I got to try to make things right. I know what to do is, I got to do this. I got to be honest with my son. But you already made this arrangement with the mother, and you got to respect that, dude. But Dorit goes, you know what it does as a mother being 1,000 miles away and not being able to comfort the kids and make it all better. It makes you feel like a failure. But Dorit was like, why did he choose this moment? Why did he choose this moment to do it? And Rachel goes, me forcing my kids to be in a situation where they are not comfortable is the most brutal thing I could ever fucking do. And I was thinking about that because, she's like, that's gotta be like a knife to the heart. But the only sliver of positivity there potentially, and I don't know this because I don't have a kid yet, is that maybe these are the situations that make kids grow up a little bit or have to deal with not the horrors of the world, but like the struggles sometimes of the world. Is that it teaches them not to like fully grow up, but to like start to see the world and not be totally protected all the time. I don't know. I was just trying to think of something positive about it, but I understand Rachel saying this is a blatant disregard for the family dynamic. And Rachel's like, I did message Roger and asked, what the fuck are you thinking? And she's in a talking head goes, how do I get home is the only thing I'm thinking. And then Rachel says to Dorit, if I did drugs and smuggled drugs, this would be the time to take them. Or cigarettes, now would be the time. And Rachel, I was like, is that like just throwing out of like, when you throw out like, it'd be really cool if somebody had a cigarette, just seeing it like, just feeling it out. Maybe Dorit did bring drugs. Dorit's like, honey, I actually smuggled in a pound of Bolivian blow. Do you want to do some? Like, I love that Rachel just said that. Like, I would do drugs right now, for real, if I had them. Wink. Next time on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they go into Florence, they see statues, David, and Erica's like, did you notice the cum gutters? And then Dorit says, today, out of the blue, you're talking shit again. And Son's like, well, how did I talk shit? Please, ho, come on. And they're shopping and getting masks, and they say they should get the Pinocchio mask for Amanda. And then Natalie says, don't pin this on me, Amanda. And she's like, hi, I'm Natalie. You might not remember me. And then Kyle says, you're lying. And you know what doesn't lie? The cameras. And she says that to Dorit. So maybe we're working to something. I don't know, you guys. What did you guys probably loved this episode. I'm sorry. I was all over the place this episode, but I hope we had a good time. I hope we got into the weekend safely and with a couple of laughs. But we'll be doing, we got the Southern Charm recap coming. Hopefully Rebecca will be great tomorrow because she really is very excited to do this. We've already watched the episode. So that's coming. We're going to do another Survivor recap. We got 2 things coming over on the Patreon. So I really appreciate. And by the way, when the baby does come, I'm going to take a couple weeks off. I'm going to still put out content. There's a couple special things that I have. But don't forget about me when I'm gone. Try to be here when I get back. Yeah. Anyways, have a great weekend, you guys. Bye.